capacities and to serve as a deterrent to other representatives of the EFCC at the investigative hearing by the House of Representatives Special Committee on Oil Theft and Losses, who made this suggestion while responding to questions by members of the committee on how to arrest the Mainans.
To detect and prevent oil theft by the EFCC, and then are there any plans to incorporate more advanced surveillance technology and monitoring systems at the EFCC to curb this menace of crude oil theft?
How many cases, do you have an idea how many cases that are before you now with regards to oil theft?
To get special courts or look at amendment or possibility of enhancing the legal framework so as to be able to expand the spaces and be able to achieve more in terms of areas, particularly for conviction. Certainly, yes. We would love to have an improvement on our legal framework as it currently is. You rightly did say clearly how it is that there has been issues of delay as regards our judicial system. Is something that is well known to all of us. There are cases that, oil theft cases that have gone on for over 10 years, some much longer than that, and then sometimes again, from the Court of First Instance, you see it running to appeal and then Court of Appeal and then to Supreme Court, So this also affects a lot in conclusion of the cases. So if we do have special courts, but not just specifically to issues of oil theft, but more broadly to the things that we do in terms of economic and financial crimes, this would also go a long way in assisting at the work that we do, and then also it will go a long way in also curbing the issue of oil theft. It will really go a long way, because one of the things that prosecution and convictions will do is it's deterrence, other than the recoveries and all of that. When people know that in a short time, once you are arrested and they know that in a short time you'll be tried and then convicted and then you serve your term.
Committee Al-Hassan Adoudugwa, in his contribution, said the committee is putting into consideration submissions of stakeholders either directly or indirectly involved in the fight against oil theft in the country.
I want to say, without any fear of being quoted, that the government has that goodwill. The government has the genuine political will to actually deliver the good things expected of our electorates. But when government is handicapped operationally, or government is handicapped in terms of the sources of its revenue, that is why in some cases you find government running shelter-skelter to be taking loans here and there. So I think with the collective efforts of the National Assembly here on this side, and also the efforts of the stakeholders like you, we can be able to block and address this problem once and for all. And by so doing, therefore, we now have not only a prosperous nation, we have a virile economy that can function to the expectation of the people of the Federal Republic of Nigeria.
Says a total of 39 confirmed cases and 0 deaths from monkeypox have been recorded across 33 states and the Federal Capital Territory. The Director General of the NCDC, Jide Idris, made a revelation at a press briefing on the declaration of monkeypox as a public health emergency of international concern. He said the NCDC is intensifying surveillance across Nigeria to swiftly detect and respond to new cases. According to Idris, the NCDC, all port health services across all 5 international airports, 10 seaports and 10 land foods crossing borders are on high alert. Idris added that some states have also put on high alert, including Lagos, Enugu, Kano, Rivers, Cross River, Akwa Ibom, Adamawa, Taraba and the Federal Capital Territory. Meanwhile, the World Health Organization (WHO) declared the monkeypox surge in Africa a global public health emergency, and worried by the rise in cases in DRC and the spread to the nearby countries. Monkeypox has swept through the Democratic Republic of Congo, where the virus formerly called monkeypox was first discovered in humans in 1970. The presidential candidate of the Labour Party in the 2023 elections, Peter Obi, has described as another embarrassment which exposed a failed leadership in Nigeria. A French court ordered the seizure of the jet following a contract dispute between Ogun State and a Chinese company, Zhongcheng Fengcheng Industrial Investment Co. Limited. The federal government has, however, stated that it has set in motion both legal and diplomatic steps to ensure the discharge of the inappropriate orders against the jet, which it declared are covered by sovereign immunity. In an ex-post, Obi berated the federal government and the Ogun State government, saying that the aircraft seizure has exposed multiple dimensions to the country's leadership failure. He said the trending international news on the seizure of 3 jets belonging to Nigeria's presidential fleet is yet another of many embarrassing things, exposing our failed leadership and attitude to the rule of law, even in a democracy. It also exposed to sustain the vigor and momentum till the nation's crude oil production target is achieved and exceeded, among other things. Defense correspondent Otne Musa was there and now reports.
Major General Edward Buba, while briefing journalists, spoke on the need of troops to protect the nation's crude oil production from criminals who are bent on destroying the nation's integrity, saying the troops need to sustain and maintain the momentum and vigor the nation get to its crude oil production target and even surpass it.
And exceeded.
Speaking on the ongoing operations in other parts,
Terrorist combatants with their families surrendered to troops at the following locations: Bama, Goza, and Ikwa local government areas of Borno State. Also, troops conducted
of the oil bunkering site that was destroyed by troops in a quest to protecting the nation's crude oil production and also making sure that daily targets are met. 1 minute silence was observed by the DDMO, senior military president and journalist in honor of our departed heroes. Osnel Musa, Liberty News.
Thank you so much, Otnerex, for that report. You can also watch us live on all our social media platforms, on YouTube, on Facebook by searching for Liberty TVR. We'll go on a short break now. When we return, we'll bring you more stories. Please stand by for more after this break. from that short break, and if you're just joining us, the news is brought to you on Liberty Television. Bond about 3 weeks after hinting at the action. Unveiling the bond in Lagos, the Minister of Finance Transformation poised to attract both local and international investors. Edun stated further that the bond issuance, which is set to leverage the Nigerian financial system, including the Securities and Exchange Commission, and the banking system, and as other international investors. Moving on to the foreign news. 4 more bodies have been recovered from the site of massive garbage landslide in Ugandan capital Kampala, bringing the death toll to 34, police has said. The collapse at the landfill in the northern district of Kitzi at the weekend buried people, homes and livestock in mountains of fatid waste. An MP for the area has warned that number of those missing could still rise, and Mr. Muwada, who is also the area's representative in the parliament, said there are more people missing compared to what the police are. Anti-sport stories. Nigeria's senior women's football team, the Super Falcons, have retained their 36th position in the latest ranking by the Federation International de Football Association. The Falcons also maintained their position as the top-ranked women's football team in Africa, follows their disappointing performance at the recently concluded Women's Summer Olympic football event in Paris, France. The Falcons failed to progress to the quarterfinals after suffering 50th, Morocco 59th, Zambia 62nd, and Ghana 66. And that persons affected launches 500 million domestic bond. And the foreign news, Uganda garbage landslide death toll rises to 34. And on sports, Super Falcons retain 36 spots globally in FIFA ranking, remain first Marta Beck, which says every day brings new choices. Thank you so much for watching. I am Mercy Queen of Thanko. Do enjoy the rest of your day. Goodbye. you.